Hello, everyone. Dave here, welcoming you back to another episode of the Perfect Anime Games series. Um, Today, we're going to be doing something a little different, which we're going to be talking about the perfect Star Wars game. Now, Star Wars does have an anime, Star Wars Visions is very popular. Um, and that's an anime. So I guess it still kind of sort of counts, right? Like we can still say that this fits into the series. Um, but anyway, I've been rewatching the Clone Wars, and I got to season 2, episode 7. I think it's called Reign of Terror or something like that. Um, and I couldn't help but immediately think, wow, this premise makes for an amazing video game. And I immediately hopped on my computer to record this because I wanted to express my thoughts with you guys and see what y'all think. So the synopsis of the episode is Luminara is tracking the Geonosian general. I forget his name. Honestly, I don't really think it matters that much. But she's tracking him down, leads her to a temple, and she gets like captured, and Anakin and Obi-Wan and a bunch of clone troopers go in to save her, which leads them to a system of tunnels, and inside those tunnels they run into this kind of hive mind of Geonosians. These kind of zombified, pretty scary, Geonosians. And they're Geonosians, as already can be pretty brutal, in the way that they fight, and pretty scary in the sense of one, their brutality, but also they can come at you from any direction. They could just straight up fire at you, they could fly from the sky, they have all these tunnels underground. They can double back, everything. They're definitely a very unique species of warrior, and a unique enemy that isn't just straight up, battle droid, I'm gonna march at you and shoot at you. So I immediately, the first thing I thought of specifically to put a specific game on this concept was Aliens Fireteam Elite. Now, if y'all haven't played that game, it kind of went, I feel like, a little under the radar. I feel like it's pretty underrated, because I thought it was fantastic. But basically, the synopsis of that game, similar to many Aliens games, is you're a Marine, and you're fighting aliens. That's pretty much it. But similar to how Geonosians act, they can come at you from the walls. They could, just run straight at you. They could drop on you from the ceiling. And I feel like putting that concept in the Star Wars universe, where you're a clone infiltrating these tunnels, you got a squad of 4 people total, maybe similar to Republic Commando, tapping back into that squad-based shooter mentality. But adding in a bit of the horror elements that come with the Aliens franchise, that could make for a really great game. I mean, imagine, I'm just thinking of some of the gameplay modes and elements. Like, you've got your heavy troopers, you've got your medic guys, you've got your all-around support kind of classes, and all of you clones kind of work together to complete your mission. And at the same time, you're fighting enemies that can come at you from any which way. They could be regular Geonosians, they could be the kind of berserker, like hive mind, zombified Geonosians. So that introduces some new gameplay elements of these guys act differently, they attack differently, they their strategies are different. But it also introduces some new gameplay elements in the sense of certain types of gameplay modes. For example, like, you could have your traditional 4 clones go in, do a mission. But one thing we notice a lot in Star Wars is that, when you have a Jedi accompanying you, they use their lightsaber a lot as light. So imagine you have a game mode where one player is a Jedi, right? And obviously Jedi is super strong, super powerful, so you could have him be your main damage dealer. But what if, what if the lightsaber is your only source of light? So if you have your Jedi run off and try to, defeat all the enemies, yeah, they could do that pretty easily, but then that leaves all your clones, all the rest of the players in a pretty precarious spot. So it's kind of a battle of, do I want to, have these clones here to, do I, excuse me, let me restart. It's kind of a battle of like, okay, do we want to get this mission done quick, or do we want to get it done with a few casualties? Because again, the Jedi might be able to run ahead and complete the mission himself, but you got your clones that also need some help, and if they run off, they're going to have no light, or at least minimal light. So again, I feel like that's a situation that could lead to some fun elements and some fun, fun gameplay elements, and just fun, horror elements as well, because you could be, just stuck. You never know what could happen. I'm trying to think of some other types of game modes. You could have like a mission similar to what they had to do in the Clone Wars TV show. You gotta rescue someone who's in trouble, and you gotta dive into the catacombs to go get them. You could have, maybe even throw in a little splash of some Deep Rock Galactic in there, because that's similar in the sense of diving into tunnels, getting materials, fighting bug-like creatures. Maybe you have that involved. Maybe you're a mining group of clones. Maybe the Jedi's like, hey, we need new materials. We're working on some new, I don't know, some new ships, and we need new kinds of metals that only manifest in this area. But oh no, you gotta fight some, bugs while you're down there or whatever. I don't know. This is all kind of rudimentary, off the dome concepts, which is kind of the whole point of this series. But basically getting Star Wars back into that squad-based shooter that they've done well with Republic Commando, which they've even done it well in Battlefront. I wouldn't say at all that Battlefront, new or old, was a squad-based shooter. I mean, it definitely had elements of it for sure, but it's but like if you coordinate with your teammates, especially in the newer ones, with online and everything, if you coordinate, or I guess, the older ones, you could play split screen and kind of coordinate as well. But there's a lot of those elements is what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of tactics. There's a lot of coordination that can be really like the Star Wars universe is primed for that. And I think we also are due for a good Star Wars kind of horror game, or at least a tense kind of, moment to moment, squad based shooter. I think honestly that could make for a really, really amazing game and an amazing product. Adding in, of course, the customization of your clone or of your Jedi or whoever that you get, similar to the customization in Aliens Fireteam Elite. You can change their face, you can change their gear, tweak their weapons, weapon colors. I would love for that to be able that. Can I talk today? I'm sorry, I can't seem to talk. I would love for that to be able to case with with your clones. I mean, obviously, clones have different personalities, something that they really delve deep into in the Clone Wars TV show. They've got their own code names for each other. They've got different colors on their armor, emblems, things like that. So I don't know. I mean, this one, in most of my perfect anime game videos, I kind of have a little bit more to talk about. This was more of just a, hey, that's kind of a fun idea that I think would be really interesting. But that's pretty much it. I've got nothing else to say about that one, and I'm out of background video. So that's pretty much it. Aliens Fireteam Elite, but Star Wars. Let me know if you guys think that's a fun idea, and if I said anything that's remotely interesting. I would love it if you could give this video a like or a comment and just let me know, like, hey, this video didn't completely, ruin my day. I would appreciate that a lot. Feel free to subscribe or maybe even watch another video. That would mean a lot to me. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next one.